Cris Emberton, who's going to be talking to us about the rubric that was created here in OLAP through collaboration with faculty and staff across the university. I'm so proud of her work. She's worked so hard on this over the last year, and it's going to be an amazing tool for us to be able to continue on developing and delivering very good and excellent high quality online education over the years.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cris Emberton, and obviously I'm not in the studio. I don't have the cool background that everybody else has had so far, but I plan to be in there some in the future. So let me go ahead and get my slideshow started, and I will share my screen. All right, can everybody see that okay? I just want to make sure before I get started here. I see some nods, great. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about and introducing the Engaged online course rubric today. And this is pretty exciting. It's been, as Dr. Johnston mentioned, it's been a year and more in the making. So let's go ahead and get started. So some of the members from OLAP who've contributed to the rubric development are myself as a facilitator for the project. Jennifer Gramling has also been a facilitator, and most recently Amar Afar is one of our graduate assistants who's helped out with creating some of the documents. And also, just to mention, there's other instructional designers on our team that have been supporting creating annotations and examples and resources that are going into the rubric. And then also, of course, our one and only Danny, who is created so much of the graphics and the graphic design elements to it. Okay, so also I just want to mention, if you've got some questions, I'm going to pause when we get to the actual rubric and talk and ask for some, see if anybody has questions or has trouble accessing some of the things I'm going to share. So I'm going to quickly go over the history, where it came from, who was involved, and which led to the Engaged Online Course Initiative. And then also, of course, the rubric itself, and then some goals that we have moving forward. So to start with, a little bit about where we started. And during COVID and quarantine, OLAP actually became a department, and suddenly there was all the departments were trying to navigate this pivot to online learning. And OLAP was kind of this lone boat in the middle of the institutions and other departments, and we were trying to support all the faculty that were suddenly provided all these resources, and we helped them navigate getting their courses online. There we go. So to start with, we during the quarantine, it was obvious that the University of Tennessee needed to explore online course design and delivery, support, and quality assurance. Although many of the departments and colleges have their own online course design and delivery processes in place, there was a gap. And during the pivot to online, instructors were provided an influx of tools, just as I mentioned. They had all kinds of tools and resources thrown at them, and we were able to step in and help them navigate how to use these. However, the need for a quality assurance program became apparent. We began to reevaluate what was currently being used, including SUNY OSCAR, which is a rubric, and Quality Matters. Eventually, UT Systems has joined Quality Matters, so we are a member of Quality Matters, and I'll discuss that a little bit more later. So we also talked to a lot of other institutions, and we discussed what their challenges were in implementing quality assurance programs. And we talked with other colleagues about things that worked, things that didn't work. So this led to some decisions that our department made. And we decided the best course of action for the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, was to go in a different direction. So the biggest question was, how do we best develop our own set of standards that fit the culture of UT Knoxville and still provide research-driven quality assurance practices? So our own Josh Steele and Jennifer Gramling went to work contacting departments and colleges, and by allowing them to nominate colleagues in online teaching, they nominated people that had experience with course reviews and many other expertise in online learning. We were able to develop the Engaged Online Course Initiative faculty cohort. And together we started to sail on. I know everybody loves my boat analogy here. I always like using some kind of, it helps me focus in on what I want to talk about. So in the beginning of fall 2021, the cohort began to meet, and the cohort consisted of 12 members of instructors, staff, and instructional designers. And I'm going to take you to the Engaged Online Course Initiative webpage that's on our website. And I'm going to be referring back to this a lot during my presentation. But we have the list of members here. And as you can see, we had a variety of professionals in our industry that around UT Knoxville that participated in developing these standards. So I'm really proud to share these people and definitely give them a lot of credit. Okay, so we, like I said, we evaluated a variety of rubrics and principles surrounding online course design and delivery. The QM rubric, the SUNY Oscar rubric, and Universal Design for Learning were just a few. This collaborative effort resulted in the Engaged Online Course rubric and with annotations and examples. Okay, so now we're going to get into the rubric. We now have a set of 42 quality assurance standards available. So you might be asking, why use this rubric? So by utilizing a set of standards, faculty can be assured that their course can be navigated easily in Canvas, that they have done their best to communicate expectations, and there is a consistency students can understand. Faculty can be reassured students are spending their time learning the content and not wasting, sorry, my phone just went up, that they can be learning the content and not wasting time and energy trying to understand how to access it. Also, when evaluating elements of an online course, engagement strategies can be incorporated to support instructor to student interaction, collaboration, and accessibility, just to name a few. It's important to understand that the rubric and the standards are not evaluating content. It's supporting and improving design and delivery. So we're looking at improving existing courses and also helping faculty develop new courses. So the rubric can also provide quick quality checks. Even if you don't want to use it as a deep evaluation tool, it can be utilized for overview checks. There are many small changes that can create large impacts for online course design. The standards also encourage faculty to improve their understanding of engagement, accessibility, and substantive interaction, among many other things. There are some alignments. There are some standards based on alignment that focus on measurable objectives or competencies. And these checks will help faculty in developing these types of alignments and writing objectives. So ultimately, this leads to student success. Students are more engaged with activities if they understand why they are learning it. This encourages more interactions with instructors and other students. Okay, so let's get started looking at the rubric and the structure of the rubric. There are 7 main standard topics, and each of these topics have an overview statement that explain the standard topic and what it covers. So these are the main standard topics. And we'll go into more of it. If you can see the top of this, I've just kind of laid out a screenshot of one of the standards. The top is and this is a checklist. So this one doesn't include the annotations and examples, and I'll show that in just a moment. The top highlighted part right now is the main topic. Then there's an overview statement for each main standard topic. And then the standards that are under, then the actual standards under the main standard topic. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. And then also, I'm going to get to it in just a second, but we have indicated which standards support regular and substantive interaction with our little checkered flags. Okay, so again, there are 7 main standard topics. There's 42 total standards. There are 45 essential and 17 important. And I'm sure you're going to be asking what's the difference. So the main difference between essential and important is that essential defines standards necessary to provide the basic foundations needed for a quality online course. If an instructor wants to ensure their course provides basic quality assurance practices, they would want to meet these essential standards. The standards defined as important, they aren't necessarily a foundational principle of quality, but they pull an online course up to an exemplary level. So as I mentioned before, a lot of the standards, or some of the standards support regular and substantive interaction. And I'm not going to dive deep into RSI, but I did want to go over it just so you understand how this can align. So there are federal requirements for RSI to be demonstrated in online instruction. The EOC rubric takes this into consideration, and we have pointed out the standards that support RSI. The faculty can easily find these particular standards within the rubric by looking for the checkerboard flag. So yay, go Vols. Just to note this, again, on our website, we have a page dedicated to regular and substantive interaction. So if you want some more information about it, if you would like to read everything about the RSI from the Department of Education, we have a link there. It's or if you just need to get to bed at night, start reading that. We also have a nice downloadable PDF that gives you some pointers on the difference and what substantive, what regular is defined as. And then also some ideas for meeting the requirements and what good practices you can incorporate into your course to help support this compliance. And I've got links there. I'm going to share the slides with you when I'm done. And so all these links you'll have. And then I've also listed out which standards in the rubric support regular and substantive interaction. Okay, if I can move forward. There we go. So along with RSI, it's important to point out that there are other resources where the standards are supported. The standards can be approached holistically with other tools and resources that faculty can use to develop a quality online course. And I'm going to go into a few of those. These are the ones that we feel really can support each other. So the Canvas course shell provided by OIT is an excellent start to building a course in the LMS. If used and followed, there are placeholders throughout the shell that meet the standards, support the standards. Some of them meet the standards. There are some links that are provided, student support services that are automatically provided in the shell, and that would automatically meet some of those standards. The online course syllabus is also another template that has placeholders for much of the information needed in course design, including a course map, support services, grading policies, many others. Again, if followed, and faculty can choose to use what is there or edit the template. And then also OLAP offers an online course development opportunity called Jumpstart. I'm sure some of you have heard of this. And this is a course where faculty can learn how to create an online course or really upgrade a course that they currently are working in. And the strategies used in Jumpstart align with a lot of the standards in the rubric. So again, I've got links here to different, like the Jumpstart page is on our website, so you can get information about Jumpstart. And then also, if you haven't already found out about the Canvas course shell, you can go to OIT and request a Canvas course shell. So by using these support tools, you can easily meet many of the standards, or they easily at least touch on how you need to meet many of the essential standards. Okay, so what we've done to make this a little bit easier, as you can see with my model, these kind of go back and forth, and to keep this holistic approach to the standards and using it as for your course design, we've created a standards cross-check. And so this is just an easy way for you to look. For instance, if you want to see what standards support RSI, this is just an easy cross-check to look at to see which standards support RSI, and then also where they're found in the shell, and then also the course syllabus. All right, now we're going to get a little bit into the nitty-gritty. What is available to faculty currently? So we have a checklist. We have the full, the complete engaged online course rubric, and then also the standards cross-check that I just showed you. So first, I'm going to show you where these are. And I'm also going to go ahead and put this web page in the chat so you can start accessing it. Oh, and I see that Danny, everybody's been adding stuff to it. Thank you so much to my team. Okay, so there is the link to the this web page where you can access most of these documents. So we have the rubric standards, which is considered kind of a checklist. There is a description on how to use the checklist. This is really a tool for a self-review, or even if you want to share it with a peer, a colleague, to do a quick peer review. And it's just an overview of the standards. It doesn't have the annotations and examples, but it does give you just a list of the standards you can easily go through and check. And you can see we've also labeled it with the RSI checkered flag. So it's just a nice little download and easily printable checklist. The next one This is the complete rubric. As you can see, there's a table of contents and it links to the standards. You'll see the main standard topic at the top with the overview statement, and then it begins the standards underneath. You'll have an annotation, and then examples for you to refer to for ideas on how to incorporate an activity or whatever it is for the standard. You know, this one in particular is assessments. It gives you some different ideas to help align your assessment to objectives. Also, just some different authentic assessment type ideas. Now, we've also included notes that are in italics. So if this standard is found in the course syllabus or the online course, the Canvas course shell, we'll note that underneath the examples. And this document looks like it's 29 pages. So it's not horrible to print out if you would like to, but you have access to it on the website. And it's the complete engaged online course rubric. The next document that's available is the cross-check that I just showed you. And then we've also added the course syllabus on this web page. It appears other places in our on our website, but I wanted to go ahead and make it available along with these since I referred to it here. The syllabus, this is the template. So this is what you would be downloading and starting to edit if you choose to use it for your syllabus to be included. And as you can see, there's placeholders, faculty contact information. Again, some of these, if you just fill this information in, it's going to meet some of the essential standards. Okay. So also what I want to point out is that we do have access to Quality Matters. And as UTK faculty and staff, you have access to the Quality Matters professional development opportunities. And also, if you choose, you can look at the Quality Matters rubric and use it as a self-check. And then also there is our custom rubric is loaded into Quality Matters. And it's something that we can also use as a self-review if you would like to do that. I'm the Quality Matters coordinator as well. So if this is something you're interested in finding more information about, please, by all means, contact me specifically about that. And I can help you walk through getting logged in if you're not already logged in. And you can select a rubric to proceed with a self-review. Self-reviews are completely confidential. I will be notified if when one starts, but I can't see the review. So if you want somebody else to review your course, you know, it's all confidential. That is one tool that it's available. I didn't want to go into that too deep today. What I do want to talk about with you is an interactive evaluation tool. Before I get into this, are there any questions just about the rubric and the standards and the structure of it? I don't see anything popping up in the chat. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to go to the next slide. So let me pull up the evaluation, the interactive evaluation tool. So this is something that it actually was built by SUNY Oscar, and then we customized it to fit our needs. And you are in luck. So as a participant today, you have unknowingly volunteered to be part of our beta test for this evaluation tool. I'm going to show you how to use it. And this is not something that's going to be available on the website, and I would like to share it with you. So if any of you choose to use it and try it out, I want to keep track of you so I can get back with you and get some feedback on it and see what you think of it. Again, it's something that we've just started working with, and so we want to find out how everybody likes it. So it's a tool that you can use for yourself, or you could share with a colleague to review your course. There's also placeholders for an instructional designer. So if you get with one of our team members, they could use that sheet for their review of your course. But as you see at the bottom, there's different sheets. There's the course profile. There's a sheet for instructional designer. The faculty would be the owner of the course, creator of the course. And then there's also a few options for a number of reviewers, depending on how many you might want. The standards have been uploaded, and within each standard, there's a note, so you can see the annotation. And then also in the last column over here, we've provided the examples. If you don't like using that, we've also included a link to the complete EOCR with the annotations and examples. The columns here for the review would be if the standard is sufficiently present. If the reviewer feels there's needed minor revisions, moderate revisions, or major revisions. And then there's added time estimates, so the faculty can kind of get an idea of how long these suggestions might take for the changes. I'm going to show you one that I started. That's a test that I filled in. Let's see where we go. Just to demonstrate what this looks like. So as a reviewer goes through, they could check, if there's a standard they feel is present, if there's something that's present, but they still feel like there could be a suggestion to make it better, they could still add a minor revision. And then under the action plan, they can fill in comments. So I've just filled in a mock kind of comment here. So the instructional designer could fill in that sheet. Then under the reviewer, if there's a second reviewer, I filled in some information for the second reviewer. And then, as you can see in the action plan, that those comments are populated. So under the instructional designer, faculty, or reviewer, you'll see under here where they check if they feel it's sufficiently present, or if there's a minor change needed, and then their comments are populated into the action plan comment box over here on the left-hand side. So this is a tool that we just thought was pretty cool, and would give you a way to do a well-done review, and also possibly meet with one of our instructional designers and have them go through this and do a review. But it's a tool that we just thought would be a nice resource for you to have. And again, like I said, I would like to get feedback from anybody that decides to try this. I'm going to get a link and add it to the chat for this. If I can get it in there. Let's see. That's a link to this document. It looks like I actually put it in there twice. So if anybody wants to try to go ahead and try that link out. Okay, so I got the 30-minute mark. I am going to quickly move forward, and then so we have some time for questions and discussion. Okay, so some of you might be saying, whoa, stop, slow down. This is way too much. This is overstimulating, and I can't do all of this in my course. Please don't get intimidated by the standards, by the rubric, by all of these tools. What we would like you to do is contact OLAP, contact us through our consultation form, and get with one of our instructional designers. We are here to help. We encourage you to utilize our team and the evaluation tool, the checklist, but get with one of us to help you use the spreadsheet and evaluate your course, or maybe just a module, or even if you just want some activity ideas to upgrade something that your students might be struggling with. We can suggest strategies and design elements based on the standards, and these can immediately improve your course. There are many new resources at UTK our IDs can connect you with, not to mention again, the OLAP production studio and other emerging technologies, like interactive games and activities. We can be your point of contact to help you get where you want to be. If you use the interactive spreadsheet, I will follow up with you. Please contact me if you have trouble getting to it. But I definitely want to get feedback. So moving forward, I just want to quickly go over what some of our goals are for the future of the Engaged Online Course Initiative. We have plans to create an exemplary design designation opportunity for online courses and program design. So currently there is a pilot course review going on, and it began with the objective to create a process that is ideal for the University of Tennessee's online quality assurance practices. The goal is to develop certified designations for online courses which model the EOC rubric standards at its highest level. So some of the things that we are looking forward to possibly doing, we hope to explore opportunities that create tools for program evaluation and also other rubrics. So these possibilities would be including rubrics for facilitation and delivery, regular and substantive interaction, and accessibility. And also we are hopefully departments and colleges may take our rubric and customize it to fit their own. It's by all means, a lot of the standards may not be applicable to some disciplines, and they may need standards added. So we're also here to look at customizing it for different disciplines. So in essence, OLAP is developing a path for a complete quality assurance program based on research strategies and the input from our own experienced UT faculty and staff. So that concludes my presentation, and I would love to have some discussion if there's any questions. I'd also like to hear if there's anybody that has some experience with other rubrics, or if you've already looked at our rubric and might have some comments about it. Please, let's go ahead and talk about that. We would like to take this rubric and look at customizing for accessibility and dive deeper into accessibility, dive deeper into regular and substantive interaction. We really think of another important topic that we don't want to forget about is facilitation and management and delivery, and quality matters. And many of the rubrics that are out there are very focused on design and development. And our rubric has a focus on design and development. But it does include a lot of interaction, learner interaction, authentic assessments, and so there's a lot that it covers when it comes to facilitation and delivery, but I really do see a need for rubrics that focus on delivery of online learning. So that's something we really want to look at in the future.
Cris, I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge just the incredible amount of work that a number of people put into this project. So I know you touched on it at the beginning, but there are, I believe there was 9 faculty colleagues from across all of the different colleges who were part of this process, and really rallied around the vision of we know that there are rubrics that are out there, but what is UT's definition of success look like in this space? And so sloshing through a variety of different rubrics is not necessarily everyone's favorite pastime or hobby, but the work that was done out of that working group over the course of the last year to really come up with this finished product, and then to have so many different use cases on how we can leverage it and really rally around some shared definitions of engaging online teaching. It's really remarkable. So thank you to you, Cris. Thank you to everyone who's involved and all of our faculty members who came along or who contributed and led as part of this project to really make this a reality. It's remarkable and it's awesome.
Yes, thank you so much. It was, and some of the members of the cohort are on here right now, so they can honestly understand when I say it could be a grueling process and a lot of awkward silence in the middle of meetings, trying to figure out what do we want to change about this standard. And I met some wonderful people, and just the experience that people put into this is just commendable. Thank you so much. Also, again, like I said, the pilot is underway for a certification review process. And hopefully I'll be presenting in the spring the data that we got from that, and presenting when that will be launched and available to faculty and programs and colleges. And there's a lot that we can do with this moving forward. So it's exciting. And I appreciate everybody being here. Again, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions about using the tools that we've developed, using the Quality Matters tool, which, again, everybody has access to. I just didn't want to get into it too much because that's a whole presentation in itself. Thank you again, everybody.